A very good evening, dear participants who have joined us pan India, not only from Punjab, right from Jammu and Kashmir to Kerala, from Rajasthan to Assam, from Nepal and UAE too. We welcome you all on this 1 week online national faculty development program on research methodology being organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Government College for Girls, Ludhiana, Punjab. Dear friends, man is inquisitive by nature, and that is a big reason we have been together here to learn about the tools to get the answers to our questions, to logically study an idea we perceived. Well, that was a literary interpretation about this workshop. But dear friends, how often we struggle with the framing of objectives for selecting the hypothesis, designing the questionnaire, and whatnot. So there are so many pain points we all are suffering from. So today is the day to address all issues and find the solutions for our different research problems. So to begin with this session, let's invoke the God Almighty's blessings.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Dear all, true leaders, they don't create followers. Rather, they create more leaders. So we have such a leader amongst us who has motivated many volunteers and pushes us to keep learning and growing. I'm referring to none other than Dr. Preetham Kaur, coordinator IQAC, who is always striving for the improvement of the college in any way, be it in quality of education, infrastructure, or any reforms. An asset to the institution, she is diligent and hardworking colleague who took charge of IQAC in 2006 and is doing wonders. So I call upon Dr. Preetham Kaur to formally welcome you all and tell us about her vision about this faculty development program. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jaspreet. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I warmly welcome you all on behalf of IQAC and Government College for Girls to this wonderful evening dedicated to the pursuit of growth and learning. Human beings are full of inquisitiveness, as already Dr. Jaspreet has mentioned. Our modern world today is the biggest example of the wonders that is the result of human curiosity and dedication towards the pursuit of knowledge. However, it is also true that if we do not strive actively to use this strength, we face the risk of becoming stagnant as individuals and society as well. So, it becomes a necessity to continuously make efforts to train our minds in order to undertake the rewarding journey of research and development and achieve better standards of living, a higher aim of continuous evolution. For this reason, learning different methods to research enables us to understand and appreciate the complexities behind it by helping us delve into the intricate layers and multiple dimensions of truth. So, Dear friends and colleagues, let us take our first step in understanding these tools because unlearning, learning, and relearning is what makes us grow. Let's take a pledge to learn and understand different methodologies to make our research more qualitative and to achieve the ultimate aim of benefiting the society. So I extend my warm wishes to our research person, Dr. Pawan Kumarji. Thank you for joining and thank you participants for joining. Let's start learning. Thank you, and now I invite Dr. Jasprit to take over the proceedings. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear Preeta ma'am. Now I seek the privilege of inviting our worthy principal ma'am, Dr. Sukhvinder Kaur, who is not only an excellent teacher with an experience of over 34 years, but she is also a recipient of many awards and recognitions from prestigious organizations too. She is popular resource person for Doordarshan, FM radio, Punjab Police Training Center, and Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Public Administration, Chandigarh, and various organizations like banks and colleges in Punjab. She is also a state level spiritual trainer for cooperative banks in Punjab since 2015. Her PhD degree was on a very interesting topic, that is spiritual quotient and job satisfaction, a study of commercial bank employees in Punjab, that she acquired this degree in 2017, and she has not looked back ever since and has taken her learnings to the masses. I feel honored to share with you that in addition to being an active researcher with a number of publications in reputed national and international journals to her credit, she is also a reviewer of South Asian Journal of Management, which is ABDC Index Journal. Similarly, she is a reviewer of international UGC approved journal periodic too. She embodies the saying, leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. So I invite the dynamic, self-motivated, strong and inspiring captain of our GCG family, Principal Dr. Sukhvinder Kaur, chairperson of IQAC, to share her views about this FDP. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Jasprit. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Thank you, Jasprit, for kind words for me. On behalf of GCG, I bid you a very warm welcome to this 1 week long national virtual FTP on research methodology, which aims at promoting research orientation and giving exposure to the participants about research problem formulation, application of appropriate research design, skill of data collection, data processing, and statistical analysis at both basic and advanced level. I take this opportunity to express my deep appreciation for Dr. Pawan Kumar, Associate Professor and Coordinator at Mittal School of Business, LPU, Fagwada, who acknowledged our invitation to be the resource person for this FTP. I hope this program succeeds in nurturing research culture and an in-depth understanding of research and its implication in decision-making process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear ma'am, for your precious pearls of wisdom and all the encouragement. So, dear friends, now is the time to know the resource person of our faculty development program. Dr. Pawan Kumar, he is Associate Professor, Mittal School of Business, Lovely Professional University, Punjab. In academic career spanning over 14 years, he has served in various esteemed institutions of Punjabi University, Patiala, in the capacity of heading the department and working as assistant director also. He has attended over 20 relevant training and 3 UGC AICTE faculty development programs, as well as he has attained 30 plus certified MOOC courses for latest learnings from the global renowned platforms, that is Coursera, Google, Udemy. He has also participated in more than 32 national and international conferences and acted as coordinator or convener in 9 national and international conferences and workshops. And he has been invited as a resource person in national and international level conferences. He has been a member of Board of Studies in Punjabi University, Patiala also. As inspired researcher, he has presented several research papers in national and international conferences and seminars. He has published 1 case study in Case Center, 32 articles in refereed journals, 1 edited book, 8 edited chapters, and having 8 research papers in B and C category Scopus, A, B, D, C journals of Emerald, Sage, and Indus Science. He has published 1 textbook for UG level and 1 edited book also. Under his supervision, 4 PhD students, they have been awarded doctorate and has supervised 4 MPhil research students also. He is already guiding 7 PhD students under his supervision from the lovely professional university. He has been guest editor of Scopus Journal of Indus Science. He has received Excellence Award in 2011 from Dr. Iqbal Singh, Governor of Goa, along with senior delegates from Concordia University, Wisconsin, USA also. So hold on. He is certified for life skill and motivating individuals. His area of specialization is marketing research, research methodology, business, and research analytics using R and SPSS, digital marketing, and fundamentals of research. He has been resource person in the FDP of Ethic, Research Methodology, and Applied SPSS organized by Faculty Development Center, HNB University, Bahaguna, Central University, Ministry of Education, Government of India. Recently, he has been resource person in 1 week national workshop organized by Khalsa College Patiala, which was attended by a huge number of people, and I was also one participant. Wow, sir. We look forward to learn a lot from you. And I request all the participants to try and take as much benefit as possible from this wonderful opportunity. I hope we can get a few precious pearls from his vast ocean of knowledge. So without any further delay, let's begin the journey with Dr. Pawan Kumar. I request you to take over the baton, sir, and lead us to the path of learning. Over to you, sir.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you very much for introduction, and I'm very thankful to Dr. Sukhvinder Kaur, and very warm regards to her principal, Government Girls College, Ludhiana, and I'm also very thankful to Dr. Jaspreet Kaur, co-coordinator IQAC, and Dr. Preetam Kaur, coordinator IQAC, who has given me an opportunity to actually to deliver you something which I know about research, because research is an ocean. So nobody can expert of research. Okay, but as ma'am mentioned that we are going to learn in the next 6 days. So I'll try my level best. And it is really a tough challenge for me because Dr. Sukhvinder Kaur is already very, you can say, prowess researcher, as introduced by Dr. Jaspreet Kaur ma'am. So I take this opportunity to meet the challenges and to give you certain, insights which are actually meaningful for writing good papers or applying a good, research methodology and appropriate data analysis techniques. So with this, may I start, ma'am? Dr. Jaspreet, can I start now? Right? Okay. So is my PPT visible to you? Can anybody tell me that is my PPT visible? Hello? Is my PPT okay? And is my voice audible, ma'am?
Loud and clear, sir.
Yes, yes, okay. Pavanji.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. So today we are on the day 1 session. So I'm going to cover the topic basics of research, and the second topic which I would likely to cover today is scale and scaling techniques. So first of all, some of the ground rules, okay, before to proceed for the session. So first of all, we need to think that we have to learn with this mindset that we are all colleagues and we have to respect each other. And it is okay to disagree, but we will disagree respectfully, okay? We will listen as allies and will not be judgmental, and we will seek participation from all, and we will start with a clean state, because as Madam Dr. Preetam Kaur, she mentioned very wonderful thing, that unlearning, learning and relearning, which really indeed is important to start this with a clean state, and we will try to respect the schedule. Okay, so these are some of the rules that we will follow in the next coming days also, and today also. So learning outcome of the session, it is very, very important that what will you learn after this session. So I'm sure that after this session, you will be able to understand the basic concepts of research. You will be able to understand the scale types and scaling techniques, which are very, very important in research. And you will be able to enable scale construction for research problem, and as well as developing skills to design appropriate scales for conducting research. So these are the outcomes of the today session. So now, first of all, the question comes, why research? Why research? So why research when we are searching it for the first time? Because it is not using that re to mean again, because generally when you ask to the researcher that what do you mean by research, they used to reply that research means re and search. Re means it's not using re to mean again. So I would likely to emphasize here that in the late 16th century, from the obsolete French word called recherche and researcher, and re here means that something searching with intent, to search. When basically you are searching with intent, then that is called research. And research is everywhere. Research is all around. You know, you cannot say since the human life evolved, research begin, and research is all around. So let me give you some of the live examples of few research examples. Say, for example, e-commerce adoption among MSMEs in Punjab. E-commerce adoption. You know that e-commerce is one of emerging business model, and it has been disrupting the business processes and business methods. So as a researcher, if I would likely to study the e-commerce adoption among MSMEs in Punjab, I would likely to study students' perception towards online classes during pandemic and its effect on academic performance. So you can see this is one of the research example. So how can I pick up these examples? Can you please tell me that why I have taken these examples? The reason being because research is everywhere. Okay, the situations, the happenings, the uncertainties, which are actually making you to delve into the research. Do you know what is today? Do you know what is today? Aaj kya hai? What is the importance of today? Can anybody tell me? Can you write in the chat box what is today? What is today? Aaj kya hai? What is the importance of 15th March? I hope you know that today is World's Rights Day. And from 3 to 4, I was having a session with the CEO of the ITC company, Mr. Sachid Madan. And we were interacting in the session, and we came to know that, since this year, the theme of the international organization has given the theme that is plastic pollution, tackling the plastic pollution. So this is a global issue. And as a researcher, how can you bring, or how can you do a research in, you can say controlling, or you can call it as in managing this plastic pollution issue? Can we do some study on this topic? This is one idea which is coming to my mind, because research is idea, research is imagination, research is creativity, research is passion, and research is based on some fundamentals. based on scientific, process. Research is a scientific process. But of course, apart from this, research is, curiosity to gain insights, to learn something. For example, as ma'am is a spiritual trainer, madam just mentioned, Dr. Jasprit Kaur, that our principal ma'am is a spiritual trainer. So why spirituality? Why ma'am has chosen the topic spirituality? What makes ma'am to choose spirituality? Why not ma'am has taken the topic political marketing, which is a taste of me? Or even I'm also fond of spiritual marketing because I'm a devotee of Lord Krishna and the Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So I used to, follow their, read some of the, you can say, content which has been given by these, gurus. So this is something which I'm trying to make you understand. I'm just trying to give you I'm putting a seed in you that research is everywhere. Like, you might have faced the situation in the COVID-19 crisis. Have you ever thought of that? What was your shopping experience during the COVID-19 crisis? Grocery shopping preference during the COVID-19 crisis. And now, like you can see, government is going to bring EV vehicles, electric vehicles in India. So can we do a study on consumer attitude towards EV vehicles in India? So first of all, the very most important thing in research, the idea. Idea is very, very important if you really would likely to become a researcher, a good researcher. Okay, idea is very important. Phenomena is very important. Concept is very important if you really would likely to start with the research, because research is a journey from known to unknown. Research is a journey from known to unknown. As simply as you go in Maldives, as simply as you go in a foreign country and you've never been to London, but when you go to London and you explore the various sites, various attraction points, okay, in London, and when you come back and you are so excited to express to your relative, so excited to express your family members, to your friends, that okay, we have seen this thing, that thing, we stayed over there, we look over there, we sat for 3 days we stayed in the hotel for 2 days, 3 days. So something, this is very important that you pick up some of the research topics, the ideas which are actually around you. And suppose I'm a good listener of music. So can I do a study on a research that exploring the impact of background music on the customer perception of ethnic restaurants? Why the concept of ethnic restaurants are coming up? Why? What is the reason? When I'm asking why, so I would likely to do research. The effect of music on perceived atmosphere and purchase intentions in a fine dining restaurant. Can my purchase intention can be the repeat buyer, that if there is an effect of music and I am a music lover, so can we study the effect of music on perceived atmosphere, the atmosphere or in the fine dining restaurant when we enjoy the dinner, how it influences the purchase intention? So these are some of the few research examples which I'm sharing, okay, which are the very latest and very current topics which you can think of to conduct the research. And you pick up your domain, you pick up your own area of expertise. Like suppose you are a nutritionist, you are a musician, you are a spiritual trainer, or you have an interest in political marketing, you have interest in say for example brand equity, suppose you have an interest in say for example packaging, product packaging, you have an interest in say government policy, understanding government policy, looking for the implication of those policies. So I mean, what I'm trying to make you understand, that research is everywhere. Okay, you need to think to get an idea, because an idea can bring a new research, a novelty in your research. Okay, so this is the examples which I have just mentioned you, that what is all about the research is. Now I'll be telling you what is the concept of research. How can we define research? Research is the degree of discovery of, new facts. New facts. Yes, it is the discovery of new facts, new laws, new principles, new theory. Sometimes you go by two ways. Sometimes you choose theory and you test that theory, or you likely to develop some theory. Okay, and sometimes the other way, that you develop some theory or sometimes you test the theory. Okay, so which we can call it as a inductive and deductive method. In the deductive method, we start with the theory to data, and in the inductive we go with the data to theory. And research is reflective thinking, obviously, and research is problem solving approach. If there is no solution of a problem, then there is no research. The purpose of research is simply to facilitate, in the marketing terms, in the business terms, the purpose of research is to facilitate the managers in decision making. Okay, if there is no solution, if there is, can you please mute the participants so that the flow can be not interrupted. Research is the journey from unknown to known, and sometimes known to unknown. Okay, now research is a creative process. As I started my session, that research is a creative process. It includes far more than mere logic. Okay, it includes insight, genius, groping, pondering, and sense. The logic we can teach, the art we cannot. Obviously, you can see that artistic people, they are emotional. Okay, they sometimes they do not go with the scientific logics, but they have a sense that they have done a research. Okay, research requires with imagination, initiative, intuition, and curiosity. So these are some of the important things which I'm talking about the research. And research is different, category of research. So the important research is quantitative research and qualitative research. Simply, when I'm saying quantitative, means quantity. It means the research which is applicable to the phenomena that can be expressed in terms of quantity. For example, if I ask you how much, how many, how long, so I am seeking the responses in terms of quantity. What is your weight? What is your height? So this is something I am talking about, the research which is called quantitative research, which is based on the measurement of quantity or amount. But qualitative research is totally different. Qualitative, the word qualitative means quality, and quality is subjective. So somewhere we are, when you are a researcher and you are going to discover the underlying motives and desires, which includes by using in-depth interviews, one-on-one interviews, or the focus group interviews, then actually you are going to use qualitative. Qualitative means you are, you can say provoking. Actually, you are doing probing. Probing is the right word for the qualitative research. Like why people think or do certain things. Okay, why? Whenever the word why comes, investigating the reasons. Okay, which you don't know. So this is something which we can call it as a qualitative research. And nowadays, my dear participants, qualitative research is very you can say acceptable research in the good papers. I am telling you, just 1 week before, my research scholar has put up the paper in the Total Quality Management Journal, which is the S1, the Quarter 1 journal, Q1 journal in the Sky Mago, and it is a B category emerald paper. And I'm happy to mention to you that our initial screening has been accepted. So the paper was on absolutely on the qualitative research. We didn't apply any advanced statistics. We did not apply any SCM or structure equation modeling or CFA confirmatory factor analysis. But The content you write, that makes very important. The idea you are writing on the theme and on the topic, that makes you a wonderful researcher. That makes you a good researchers. Because editor-in-chief of your journal, of any journal where you are putting your research paper, he is concerned that what is your practical implication of the research, what is the social implication of your research, how your research is novel, how your research is unique, and what is the type of secondary data you are using in your introduction of your research paper. But I have seen that most of the researchers, they do their objectives are different, title is different, even the research design is something different, and we are expecting to have a quality publications. We cannot. Your idea and how you are conceptualizing that idea in the form of a piece of paper, that makes you that will decide. So ultimately, research is of two types broadly: quantitative and qualitative. Okay, so in the qualitative research, if I tell you, like, look at this hot chocolate McCafe cup. You can see if you're drinking a cup of hot chocolate, and you might stick a thermometer in the cup and learn that the temperature of the liquid is 100°F. Okay, that is giving you a sum of the quantitative things like 100°F. But the qualitative data, like, you might be interested to look at the ingredients which are used in the hot chocolate, that is chocolate, milk, marshmallows. And in the qualitative research, you would likely to observe some of the important variables, like, like qualitative data, like, sweet taste, it is distinctive, smell, warmth. So these are all the important observations to make. And these, if you want to make these observations, if you want to draw these observations, actually it leads to a more in-depth research. So qualitative research are very in-depth. They are in-depth searches. And quantitative researches are not in-depth researches. Okay, they are quantitatively, you are quantifying, like you are giving the questionnaire, and the respondent is giving the options, choices for the questions you are asking to the respondent. But in the qualitative research, you conduct the focus group interview, few participants, but they are focused. And you conduct in-depth interview, one-on-one interview. So that is something which gives you a difference between the quantitative and qualitative. But both the researches have their own merits and demerits, right? So I would appreciate if you, in the PhD thesis, in the PhD the topics, if you prefer both the methods, quantitative and as well as qualitative, it will, then your findings will be more generalized. Then qualitative research is just like, peeling an onion. It's just like peeling onion. When you first bring the outer layer, then you will get tears, and then you deeper you go, the more tears there are, and sometimes it makes you cry as you go deeper. So onion makes things tasty, but the inside of the onion, it is very tasty. Why? So something which I'm trying to make you understand is comparing this example to make qualitative research, because the outer layer is just a lot of dead skin. Like, you conducted the quantitative research, you ask from the respondent the questionnaire, and sometimes the respondent, they give a very very conscious answer, very biased answers. But in the qualitative research, you can go in depth, and you do a probing, actually investigating deeply, just like an onion, that the outer layer is just a lot of dead skin, but inside, the really sweet bits are inside. So this is something which I am trying to understand from you, that it is the difference between the quantitative and the qualitative research. Can please write in the chat box that is the voice modulation is clear to you, and you are getting the insights, what I am giving you, what I'm telling you. Can you please, any participant, write in the chat box that, okay, the flow, and are we in the talking terms? Yes, Dr. Jasprit, Dr. Bitam ma'am, Can you please write in the chat, or you can please tell me that whether the flow is going okay? Are you with me, please? Yes, I'm waiting for the
Yes, sir.
response. If
Sir,
you
it's going on excellently. Very nice.
excellent.
Yes.
Very nice. Okay, ma'am. This is what I expect. Whatever I am telling, that it should go into the heart and mind, and it. Anyways, right. So now the very important thing, I have seen some of the thesis, I have seen some of the students make, because obviously you are a very intelligent participants. I'm telling you, I'm not expert. I'm just giving you direction, my dear participants. You people are already know, and I know world is this, okay? And I'm just, reminding you. That's it. That's the very purpose of this FDP as a resource person. Okay, many things I will learn from you in the coming 6 days. Okay, but just I have seen that people use exploratory research, writing in the thesis, writing descriptive research, although it is not descriptive, writing causal research in the research design, though it is not causal. So please, as a researcher, when you are writing, so editor-in-chief or sometime, the good experts, they always look for, and they always ask you this question: why you have used an exploratory research? Why have you used descriptive research? Why have you used causal research? So I'll just put a light on it. Exploratory research means when there is no review of literature exist. When there is no review of literature exist and your phenomena is something very new, unique, novel, like a COVID-19 came, then people were not known about COVID-19. The researchers, they were not having any review of literature available about COVID-19. That was something we can call it as an exploratory research. When you are going to explore the insights of a journal research problem, when you are going to explore the insights of a journal research problem, excuse me, when you are not knowing anything about the problem, you are not knowing anything about the problem, and you need to explore different dimensions of the problem. So in that cases, in those kind of studies, you can use and you can write in your research methodology that your research design is exploratory research. In two cases, when there is no review of literature exist, and exploratory research is always qualitative. It is always qualitative because you take the expert opinion. You discuss the problem with the peer group. Okay, you discuss the problem with the expert, and you are exploring secondary data to know. That is something which is called the exploratory research. And even exploratory research is sometimes called when there is no review of literature, the concept is new, the concept is absolutely new, then it is an exploratory research, and you can do and you can mention that your research is exploratory research. Or the methods of conducting exploratory research is always expert surveys, focus group interview. Why it is called focus group interview? Focus means that you are actually conducting the kind of interview with few participants, but those participants are expert in that field. For example, if I'm having a project of launching a new smartphone in the Indian market, okay, and I would likely to involve some of the young millennials in the qualitative research, that what they are looking in the new project, in the new product. So obviously I am looking for those participants, those young millennials who have the expertise knowledge of the about the smartphones, about the expectations, and about the likings and dislikings. Okay, it is not something, the phenomena which I can ask from any person. Those even don't know what is smartphone, and they don't know what is they are not very much tech savvy. So obviously, so here my selection of participants is very I need to be very selective while choosing the participant, because I've done one MOOC course in the qualitative research from the University of Davis through Coursera, and the instructor was so wonderful, So, I mean, she explained that when you are conducting the focus group interview, your participant should be eligible. Eligible participant means that he should have the appropriate qualification. Qualification doesn't mean that he should be having a PhD or UGC net qualified. It means your participant should be eligible, means that he should have an expertise. Like suppose Dr. Jasprit Kaur would likely to conduct a research on the nutritionist, say for example in the nutrition, on the topic of nutrition, say, and so she has to pick up the nutritionist, the dietitians, who are experts in their field, and from them she is going to conduct one small focus group interview. And generally in the focus group interview, 8 to 10 participants are adequate, not more than that. And you can't believe that these type of studies are so much accepted in the good qualitative research journals. Like I have just sent my paper in one of the TQM journal. The title is simply social media, blessing or curse in the beauty and wellness industry. That was my topic of my research scholar, and she is from Ludhiana, and we have done this paper, and just qualitative paper, took just the focus group interview of the beauticians, the beauty parlor owners. And our paper is initially accepted in the screening, and I'm expecting that my paper if it is expected, and we have already one paper in the TQM journal. I'm happy to share. We have already published one paper in the 2019 in the same journal, B category paper, and it was also very qualitative paper. No technique, no advanced technique we have applied, which you can call it high order construct, high order techniques. So then is in-depth interviews. Observation. Observe like a kid. If you want to be a good researcher in the exploratory research, in the qualitative research, observation is very important. Observe like a kid. Have you seen that how kids observe the things and how they ask the question? Sometimes it is very difficult to reply them that what she is asking. What she is asking. My baby yesterday asked me, just 5-year-old, Mama, what is the meaning of pregnant? In one of the I don't know, from there she asked that, Mama, what is the meaning of pregnant? And sometimes it is very difficult to answer to the baby. That this is something which we can call it as an observation. Then in-depth interview, like inquisitive to know something, the meaning, the phenomena, that what is all about it. That is called qualitative research. And then projective techniques. So I hope exploratory research is clear to you. So now you can choose. I'll give you one exercise. I'll give you one exercise today, and you have to do it today on this. Okay. Then is descriptive research. Descriptive is something phenomena which is existing in the present. Like suppose I want to know how many COVID patients are there in Ludhiana, how many of our genders, and how many of you are female COVID patients. It is something I am going to describe the characteristics or the phenomena that existing in the present. And in the descriptive research, we generally use only and only surveys. Please note down, only and only surveys where it is used is called descriptive. Means describe. You are describing the demographic profile of the respondent. You are describing the socio-economic profile of the respondents. Okay, that is called descriptive research. A survey you have conducted from your respondent, that is called descriptive research. Like I have put in one example over here is like online shoppers preferences for e-retailers attributes. Okay, online shoppers preferences for, say for example, grocery shopping, like so. This is what we can do, a descriptive kind of research. Okay, you are doing online shopping behavior, online shopping preference, attitude towards students' attitude towards Zoom classes. Okay, students' attitude towards you can say you are going to compare the various platforms of, say, Zoom or say WebEx or say Google Meet, and you are going to conducting a one small survey from the students of MBA, the students of MCOM. So here you can go for the descriptive research. Okay, descriptive research where you are going to describe the business or market characteristic. In case of business, now I'm interested to study, let's say, which at what price range the consumer is, the customer is, going to buy the product. What color of packaging the customer is interested. So in the packaging decisions, in the product decisions, in the pricing decisions, and I'm going to study the attitude of the customer, the behavior of the customer. So all those kind of studies are descriptive research. Okay. Now, if I'm going to study the students' millennial perception about the classical music, okay, whether the millennials what they perceive about the classical music, or the you can say semi-classical music, or say the modern musics. So I'm just going to study the perception. Okay, so you can see this is something which the design, which we can call it as a descriptive research design. And descriptive research is of two types: cross-sectional and longitudinal. So what is cross-sectional? Cross-sectional means like one-time research confined to a single time period. Okay, the research which is conducted, it is descriptive research. Okay, you can write in the research methodology also when you are writing a paper or when you're writing your thesis. So whether in the descriptive research your study is cross-sectional or longitudinal. Cross-sectional means one-time research confined to a single time. Okay, and you have a different groups, from you are collecting the information from a sample of the population at only one point of time. At only one point of time, you are collecting the information from the sample of a population. Then it is called cross-sectional. But longitudinal means the same group. The group is same, but you are actually examining, or you are examining the effect of vaccine. Say, for example, on randomly selected people of different age groups in different time period of time. Take an example of COVID-19. Okay, you are going to conduct a study on the effect of COVID vaccine on the male and female and transgenders, okay, of a different age groups on the different time period of time. So this is something, the study which we can call it as a longitudinal study. Same group, but the time period is different. Same group, but the time period is different. So here we have the different groups, but time period is at one point of time. Now the causal research. Causal research means it is also called the experimental research, where you are going to investigate the cause and effect relationship between two or more variables. You see, when I'm talking about the cause and effect, like today I was in the session of plastic pollution, antecedents and consequences of plastic pollution. Suppose this is the topic. Antecedents means your cause, and consequences are the effects. Cause and effect relationship between two or more variables, like increase in the promotional spendings, like retail stores, online shoppers, Amazon, Flipkart, they used to they give a different kinds of offers, discounts, buy one get one free. So how this is the cause, and effect is increase in the sale or not. This is a business example. So you can also use the causal research, experimental research, where you are going to study the relationship, where you are going to study the effect of one variable into the another variable. Okay, so it is very important to say that if there is no variation, there is no research. Okay, you are going to find out the variation in the research. Okay, no variation, no research. Now I am going to give you one small activity, that today you pick one page, write the area of your specialization on the top, like you are from a music department, you are from the nutritionist department, or you are from the education department, education, your is domain, your domain is marketing domain, your domain is psychology domain, your domain is, let's say, HR domain, finance domain. Okay, pick one page and write the area of your specialization on the top, and formulate the research topic. Based on the descriptive research design. Okay, so this exercise is very, very important, which will actually you know make you more capable to find out the appropriate topic, and based on the topic you can take the decision whether your study is descriptive, whether your study is exploratory, or whether your study is that is called the causal research design. Cause and effect. Okay, so in the research, there are two types of research data we have. One is the primary data, and the second one is the secondary data. Primary data and secondary data, I think it's very common thing. I don't want to spend much of its time. Primary means which is something the first hand information. Okay, the questionnaire you get filled from the respondent. You draft a questionnaire, you conduct one survey, and through Google form, and you are asking from the respondent to fill the your questions. So that is primary research. And secondary research generally used by the economics domain students. They generally finance people, finance researchers, they use secondary data. Okay, and sometimes the marketing researchers, they use both primary data and secondary data. Okay, so it is your study will determine whether you are going to use primary data or secondary data. And of course, if you are using primary research, then obviously you would be using the quantitative research and the qualitative research. Okay, of course. All right, so this is all about the primary research and the secondary research. And secondary research means the information which is already available through the Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of Panchayati Raj. Then you have the Vahan portal is there. If you are doing one of the research on the, let's say on the vehicles, so e-Vahan portal is there. Vahan 4.0 portal is there, where you can come to know the lot of database, lot of data sets about the information data related to the vehicles. Okay, so you are supposed to explore, okay, that from where you can get the secondary information. Sometimes you get the secondary information from the government agencies, from the trade associations, and you get the information from the local libraries, websites, magazines, newspapers. So all these are wonderful examples of secondary research. So you need to mention also this thing also in the research methodology, that is, are you going to use primary research or and secondary research? So now can I have the one feedback from you, just of 1 minute, that whether the thing is clear to you? Can you please just mention me yes?
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, I think we are getting very good feedback, but there are two questions. One question is regarding the projective technique. And the other one is that if you could explain confirmatory research as well.
Ma'am, this is a very confirmatory factor analysis we will discuss on the last date. Okay, the last day. Are you getting the point?
That's fine, sir. Yeah.
Okay, because the reason being we cannot do right now this confirmatory factor analysis, because at this moment of time we are starting with the basics. And in the basics, if I keep on coming to the confirmatory factor analysis, then people will get confused.
Yeah.
People will get confused.
Yeah, it's important.
Okay,
yes.
so there are different projective techniques, ma'am. Like for example, there are you might have studied like the sentence completion techniques. Like in the qualitative research, you give a one, say for example, one paragraph, and that paragraph is incomplete. Okay, and you ask the respondent to complete this paragraph. Okay, which is called a completion technique. Okay, and sometimes there are techniques which are used in projective techniques, like the word association method. Okay, you are using one word. Okay, and with that word you are seeking the response from the respondent, which is called the verbal projective techniques, which are actually projective techniques are not much used in the social researchers. Like for example, like a marketing researchers, they don't go. But of course, as a researcher, you should know that even a role playing is also a projective techniques. From the role play, you are asking, like for example, the rural studies, in the rural area, you induce the rural people to play such games, or to draw, or to paint some of the things okay, on their some of the ways through which you can make them to draw or to paint something, okay, and you are using certain playing techniques, okay, to get the behavioral response, to know about them. So that is something we can call it as a projective technique, okay. So primarily they should understand that your focus group interview, one-on-one interview, and the in-depth interviews, they are very much popular in the qualitative research, okay. So can we go ahead? Can we proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Jasprit ma'am, can we move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, we can.
Right, right. So now is very, very important fundamental of research. Matlab pura building, you can call it the whole building of the research is dependent on the scales. Scale is the foundation of constructing the questionnaire, developing the questionnaire, okay. So scale, generally you have seen that there are different absolute scales which you can see in the shops, in the jeweler shop, you can see in the sweet shop, you can see when you buy a sweet or when you buy a grocery. So scales are there, okay. They give you the absolute measure. Now, I would likely to ask to the respondent that in the research, what type of scales are important and why those scales are important. So first of all, you can see, look at this picture. When you can see this picture, can you tell me that what this picture explains to me? Actually, ma'am, I'm not able to see the responses of the participants. Might be they are in, maybe they are in the LPU live stream. So
Yes, sir. We are waiting. I will share once I get. I'll share with you.
I'm just asking from you, asking from the participant, what this picture conveys to me. Malab, what you can observe. This is observation, and just observe this picture and what you can infer or what you can draw from this picture.
People enjoying.
Okay, enjoyment. So I am getting one enjoyment. Okay, okay. Next, how can we measure enjoyment? Now, how can we measure enjoyment? Very good question. Very good point. Who is ever the participant has pointed out. I appreciate him or her. Yes. Any other enjoyment?
Cricket match. Okay. Cricket match and emphasis. Okay. Emphasis maybe. Emphasis, that means someone is saying that means emphasis on the flag.
Emphasis.
The
Okay.
patriotism also.
Patriotism also. Very good. Very nice. Patriotism. Perfect. Patriotism. So you have got enjoyment, patriotism, happiness. Happiness also.
People cheering the team. Sir, people cheering the team.
Team sharing. Okay, team sharing. All right.
Cheering.
So how can we cheering? Okay, cheering. Right. Okay. Can we measure happiness? How much happy are you? 2 kg, 3 kg, 4 kg?
Yes, sir. Happiness भी आया है.
Happiness भी आया ना? ठीक है ma'am. ठीक है. I have written down. Okay. All right. So how can we measure happiness? How happy are you? Can you tell me, sir, I am 2 kg happy today. I am 1 kg happy today. And I am, this much enjoyment. So these are some subjective, what we can call it as a, what we can call it, concept. We can call it enjoyment, patriotism, happiness, and cheering. But how can we measure? That's the question. So in the real market, you can see you have seen various absolute scale. But which scale is appropriate to measure happiness? Okay, highly happy. Okay, or you can say satisfaction could also be one of the point which I can point out from the picture, that satisfaction. Okay, that something satisfaction, because if they are satisfied, they are happy. Okay. So what I'm trying to make you understand from this picture observation, I am going to give you the direction toward the scale, that through scale we can measure the object or subject in the research. So generally in the research, we have the 4 types of scale: nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and the ratio scale. Please note down, this is the foundation of your questionnaire. This is the foundation of your looking at the type of technique you are going to apply in your analysis. Until and unless you don't know about these scales, you will play hit and trial. Okay. Otherwise, you will not be logical that whether I should go with the regression, whether I should go with the chi-square, whether I should go with the conjoint analysis, whether I should use multidimensional scaling, whether I should use one-way ANOVA, one sample t-test. Until and unless these scales are not clear to you and the type of questions you are using in your questionnaire. So first of all, try to understand nominal scale. What is nominal? The word nominal is, which I tell my students, that from the nom means name. Okay, just I'm giving you a tricks to remember what is nominal scale. Nom means name, name means category, name means labels, name means tags. Okay, tags or labels for identifying and classifying objects. Like for example, you have a number of your car, PB11. You have a number of your car like PB08, PB36. That is the label which actually identifies that it belongs to a Ludhiana or it belongs to a Patiala. Okay, so these numbers, they serve only labels or tags for identifying and classifying the objects. And the numbers, they do not reflect the amount of characteristics possessed by the objects. Okay, nominal, simply you can call it as a classify. You can categorize. Okay, you can identify and classify the object. For example, in the cricket team or in the hockey team, you will find that there are some numbers which are written on the jerseys of the players. Okay, but though that numbers doesn't mean their rank, that number doesn't mean that they are at that particular position. That number simply identify or simply classify the one player from the another player. And the nominal scale is one of the weakest scale. Please note down, this is one of the most inferior scale. It is not superior scale. It is one of the most inferior scale. Inferior scale, where you can, at max, you can compute frequency, counts, or percentage as a statistical analysis. Okay, you can compute frequency, you can compute counts, and you can compute percentage. So this is nominal scale. Nominal means, like for example, when you write your questionnaire, you ask what is your gender, male or female. So male is a category, female is a category, transgender is a category, lesbian is a category, gays is a category. So we are just now going, one of the student is doing a study on LGBT community, on the brand position, brand perception. One of the scholar is doing on this particular theme topic. So this is a category. What is your gender? So we are going to use this first question in our questionnaire, because we want to know what is their gender. So male and female. What is your occupation? Government job, private job, business job. So that is the category. So one means I'm classifying, I'm identifying these objects with the numbers, that one means government job, two means private job, three means business. So you can see these are categories, and whenever there is a categorical information, categorical data type is there, then it is called a nominal scale. Like you can ask, what is your monthly bill? 200 to 550, 500 to 1000, 1000 to 1200, or more than 1200. So this is something is called the nominal scale. Now, is that clear to you? Nominal scale, can you please write in the chat box yes or no? Then we'll come to the ordinal scale. Ordinal scale means order. Order, O-R-D. Just to remember, I'm giving a trick. Ordinal means O-R-D. O-R-D stand for order. Order means preference, ranking. Whenever you are asking the question in the form of seeking the response from the respondent based on the ranking, based on the rank, okay, then that is called the ordinal scale. And in the ordinal scale, very, very important that variables have an equal distance between each value, like first rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank, fifth rank. Each one is having an equal, distance. So that is called the ordinal, order scale, order or preference, like brand preference. One good example which I'm sharing is called the brand preference of deodorants. Okay, so this is the ordinal scale. Then we have the ranking scale. It is also called a ranking scale, obviously. So you can call it ordinal scale as a ranking scale, because you are asking the respondent to assign some of the ranks, to assign ranks to indicate the relative extent to which the object possesses characteristics. Okay. And in the ordinal scale, you have the freedom to apply median, quartile, interquartile range. Okay. And and even the non-parametric test. Okay. They are based on the ordinal scale, ORDINL, ordinal scale. Like I'll give you one example. Like for example, if I give you this question, rank the following stores as per your service liking. Now I am asking you to give the rank. Rank means 1 means least and 5 means highly preferred. So I am giving you, suppose you are giving the rank case study 1, simulation 2, PPT 3, role play 4, discussion 5. So this is something you are seeking the response in the form of order, in the form of rank. Okay, and the same rank is not repeated once you are asking from the respondent. So similarly, like you ask, what is the level of your satisfaction? Excellent, good, and poor. So excellent is more than good, and good is more than poor. Good and but how much is not exact. Okay, so this is something we can call it as a ordinal scale. Like in a race, for example, Ram is first, Sham is second, and say Radhe is third. So it means that it is a ordinal scale. Order is there, position is there. Okay, whenever there is a position, preference, and the order is there, then it is called the ordinal scale. Is that clear to you? Please, can I have a small discussion, or your response that yes, is it clear to you that what is the difference between the nominal scale and the ordinal? Simply, nominal means categorical, categories are there. Okay, and ordinal means order, rank, preferences. Okay, now next very, very important scale, which is called the interval scale. Very, very important scale, because this scale is very widely used in the social research, because it is called a rating scale. And this scale is used to measure the behavioral response, attitude, behavioral response. And the beauty of this scale is that the characteristics of this scale is that it possesses the characteristics of nominal, it possesses the characteristics of ordinal, and it has the one very, very significant thing, that the difference between the two consecutive numbers is meaningful. That is how this scale is different from the other scale, and it is called an interval scale, because the difference between the two consecutive numbers is meaningful. Okay, for example, the difference between the temperature of 10 to 20 degree is always the same as the difference between the 48 to 58 degrees centigrade. And 0 is arbitrary in the interval scale, because there is you can see in case of temperature there is a negative temperature also. Okay, -10, -20. Okay, so we can go beyond 0 degree. Okay, and that is why it is called arbitrary 0 point in the interval scale. Whereas in the interval scale is also, I'll give you one example also. See, look at this example, you will be more clear. Like for example, you are conducting a one survey and you are trying to study the satisfaction about different features of a telecom service or mobile service, which you can be assessing through using a 5-point interval scale. So here you can see 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So you can see the difference is equal, And there is identity. Identity means 1 means highly dissatisfied, 2 means dissatisfied, 3 means not sure, 4 means satisfied, and 5 means highly satisfied. And that is why you can see that in this particular scale there is an order is there, 1 2 3 4 5. There is identity, that 1 means highly dissatisfied, and 5 means 1 means highly dissatisfied, and 5 means highly satisfied, and there is an difference is also equal. So these are the 3 important characteristics of interval scale. And moreover, as you move from the nominal to ratio scale, you will find that the scale becomes superior. So interval scale is the superior scale, whereas the nominal scale is the inferior scale. Okay, and that is why it is always guide to the students to use interval scale or ratio scale, because in the interval scale or ratio scale you can apply all the arithmetic operations. All the arithmetic operations can be applied, okay, in the interval scale. But in the nominal scale it cannot be applied. In the nominal scale you can just count, you can count the frequency and you can count the percentage. And in the ordinal scale you can compute the median because the rank is there. Okay, so this is the example of the interval scale. So one thing is very clear, that the interval scale is used for measuring the behavioral responses, and it is based on thermometer scale, and equal intervals are assumed, and it is based on arbitrary 0. Like for example, if I ask to my student, how much are you satisfied with the online education, or how much are you satisfied with the say the class? So 1 means strongly dissatisfied, 2 means dissatisfied, 3 means not sure, 4 means satisfied, and 5 means strongly satisfied. Now generally researcher asked me the question, sir, why should we go 5-point scale? Why not we go 7-point scale, 9-point scale, or 11-point scale? This is also very, very important, whether you are going to use 5-point scale, 7-point scale, or 9-point scale, or 11-point scale. The more you use the scale, like 9 will give you more variation. You will find more variation in the 9-point scale than the 5-point scale. In the 7-point scale, you will find more variation than a 5-point scale. So as you move from the what we can call it as a from the 5-point to the 7-point or the 9-point, you will find that more variation you can find out, more information you can extract. In the advanced countries, you will find that they use 9-point scales, 11-point scales, because people are highly educated. They know what is the difference between the very strongly dissatisfied or strongly dissatisfied. But when we use 5-point scale, then sometimes it is guided to the respondent means what to fill and what not to fill. Okay, so this is the variation which you can bring more through using 9-point scale, 11-point scale, or the 7-point scale. So here you can apply all type of statistical tests like mean, standard deviation, correlation, ANOVA, regression, factor analysis, and multidimensional scaling. Now, next, I'll be asking you one very, very important scale, the last scale, which is called the ratio scale. Ratio scale means absolute number. Whenever there is an absolute number, that scale is called ratio scale. Like if I ask you, what is the weight of what is your weight? So you will tell me, okay, your weight is 60 kg, 50 kg, 45 kg, 48 kg. So that is ratio scale. So ratio scale possesses a clear definition of 0, means there is a true 0 point. Okay, like for example, height cannot be 0, weight cannot be 0. So any type of values that can be measured from absolute 0, that can be measured with a ratio scale. So ratio scale possesses the properties of nominal, ordinal, and interval scale. It has an absolute 0 point. All arithmetic operations are possible, and all statistical techniques can be applied. Your regression particularly is applied on the ratio scale, like a GDP, inflation, and you are having the stock price, volatility you are measuring, okay, between the two variables, two stocks. So here, what we can understand that this is a one type of ratio scale where you will get the absolute information, absolute data, like for example, income earned in a month. Like for example, if I ask you, what is your monthly income? How many number of children are you? You will not tell me, okay, sir, I have 1 to 5 children, or I have 2 to 4 children. No, not like that. You will tell me that 2 children, 1 children, 3 children. Okay, income means like you ask me, what is your income? So obviously you will answer in reply that 8,000, 10,000, 20,000, absolute number. And number of elections a person has voted, 1, 2. So this is something we can call it as a ratio scale. Like for example, in the questionnaire, you just ask to the respondent, how much money have you spent in these stores in the past 3 months? How much? So the respondent is giving you answer that in store A, you have spent 600 rupees, in store B, 450 rupees has been spent, in store C, 100, in store D, 1000, in store E, 5000, in store F, 900. So this is what we can call it as a ratio scale, because you are getting the absolute values, like what is your weight, how much data you consume per month, how many siblings are in your family, and ratio data is continuous. Okay, and it is discrete. And in terms of measurement capacity, you can find out nominal scale is the inferior scale, and ratio scale is the most superior scale. So please note down in your wherever you are writing down, nominal and ordinal is a non-metric data, and interval and ratio is a metric data. Okay, you must not confuse when I'm using the word metric. And all parametric test applies on the metric data. Metric means the data scale type must be interval and ratio. You cannot apply parametric test on the nominal and ordinal scale. So now, whenever you are guiding the student, or whenever you are preparing your research project, so you should know that which scale are you using, and sometime you should know that your topic sometimes demands that more nominal or more ordinal or more interval and more ratio. But statistically, what I'm telling you that the parametric test can be applied only and only on the metric data, that is interval and ratio. It cannot be applied on the nominal and the ordinal data, because nominal means category, ordinal means order, interval means equal distance, and ratio means absolute. Simply. And I will show through a figure also that nominal means naming, ordinal means order, interval means the distance is meaningful, and ratio is absolute 0. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to make you understand, that you should understand what is scale. So we have discussed today what is scale, and how many types of scales are there, what is research, what is quantitative research, what is qualitative research, and we have also discussed the type of research design, which is the exploratory research design. Let me take one small test from you here. Let me just one. Now you can see here, please just one slide more. You can see here the ratio data and interval data, they are quantitative data, and nominal and ordinal data, they are more qualitative. Ordinal is more nominal is more qualitative. And I have seen, I was reading one of the book of statistics where it is mentioned that Likert scale is the ordinal scale. Few of the statisticians, they have claimed that it is an ordinal scale, but generally we have to tell that Likert scale is an interval scale. Likert scale is an interval scale because there is an order, there is an identity, and there is a distance. The difference is equal, and there is no true 0 point. But in the ratio scale, the true 0 exists. Okay, that is also the difference between the interval data and the ratio data. Now in the SPSS also, I tell you, when I will give you tomorrow the demonstration of SPSS, this nominal means nominal data, and scale means your interval and ratio, and ordinal means you already know, that is the order. Order is there. Now I'm giving to show you in the last 1 minute that this is very, very interesting to compare all these scales on the one slide. Nominal scale means, like, suppose I'm doing a study on the Bollywood or the Hollywood movies. Okay, and I'm asking the question from the respondent about the genre of the film they watch, action, animated, comedy, drama, factual, fantasy, romance, sci-fi, and suspense. So this is nominal because these are categories. These are just identification of labels. And in the ordinal scale, if I ask the respondent to give the ranking to these film genres, like one respondent is giving rank to action 1, animated comedy 2, animated drama 3, factual 4, and animated 5, fantasy 6, light drama 7, romance 8. So this is ranking, and ranks are not repeating, you can see also. And then is interval scale. Interval scale means I am asking to the respondent to give the rating. So interval scale is also called a rating scale, okay, because we can measure the behavioral response, like from the 1 to 7 point scale or 11 to 17 point scale. So somebody is giving 7 point, 5 point, 7.65, 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, 2. And then is the ratio scale, which gives the absolute information, like how much money you spent on cinema visits in the past 3 months. So first respondent say 200 rupees, second respondent say, let's say 35 pound, third respondent say 200 pound, and if it is in Indian context, then you see in a rupee, 100 INR, 0, 100. So this is, ratio scale. This is ratio scale. So now through this slide, you can easily come to know that what is the scale. Now let me ask you one small question from you. Just one question. Just tell me, if I ask you which newspaper do you read daily? Nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio? Can you please tell me what is the right answer? Just one question, then I will take your MCQ kind of brief test also, so that I could come to know whether you are really learning, or you are for the certificate. Okay, so this means that I want some dedicated participants, and even some of the participants are more knowledgeable than me. So in the very first slide, I have told you that please, it is okay to disagree, but with very decent way. Okay, so I will learn from you also. Okay, so we are academicians and we must respect each other. Knowledge
Sir,
is a memory game, right?
Sir, there
Yes, ma'am.
are answers. Sukhmani Singh, Harleen, Sanjot, Aniruddha, nominal scale. Gurmeet Singh, Rajiv Kumar, all of them, they are saying nominal scale.
Very good. Please, it is a big hand for them. Okay, good point that they have come to know. And just I'm showing them a questionnaire. If they can tell me what is the first question, like how often do you usually have your car washed? And these are the responses, like less than once a month, 2 times a month, 3 times a month, or 4 or more times a month. Can you ask them which scale it is? What are their responses?
Nominal, sir.
Good, because categories are there. Okay, right, good. And if it is on the right side, can you ask them that there is some scale is there from 1 to 7, and strongly disagree to strongly agree? Can you ask them which scale it is? Which scale it is?
I'm getting, sir, mixed replies. Ordinal, interval.
Tell them it is interval scale. Why it is interval? Because
yeah,
it is interval scale. It is Likert scale. Okay, it is Likert scale. Likert scale. Some says Likert, some says Likert. Okay, so it is a Likert scale from 1 to 5 point is a Likert scale. 1 to 5 point is a Likert scale, but it is a rating scale. You can call it as a rating scale, 1 to 7 point rating scale, from strongly disagree to strongly agree. And I will share one paper also to each of the participants to read that paper, where they will get extreme and absolute clarity on the scales. They will not get any difficulty to understand whether they are going to use 7 point scale, 9 point scale, or 11 point scale, or 5 point scale, and why they should use. Okay, that will make a more clarity to them. So I think, ma'am, I think for today, Can we move ahead, or I think it will be?
No, sir. I think we are 5 minutes behind the schedule, but actually there was initial some technical lag, so that is why we have overstretched the limit. So, sir, I'll be taking just one or two questions which someone is asking, or we can take it later.
You can send me. We can in the tomorrow.
Okay, we can answer them in the chat box. Okay, thank you very much, sir, for nicely explaining why we are doing research, what is the soul of research, and very nicely you have explained different types of scales: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. It was sounding like a game. We felt like playing it. So thank you so much for generating so much of interest. And there is an important announcement for all the participants that we shall be sharing the feedback come attendance link shortly. That will be shared in the group, and you have to fill it so that we know that you are not you haven't kept it open on and left somewhere, or you overslept. Okay, so we would like to see that you have attended, and it was happy to have first session with Dr. Pawan Kumar. And sir, looking forward to the next day unfold. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
The feedback link that will be shared in the YouTube chat also, and in the this FDP WhatsApp also. Thank you so much, everyone. And you have to do the homework also. Don't forget.